The following program is rated D for dumb.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Dave Canyon. Are you ready to dumb it down? All right, that is good. So am I. It is great to be here. It is November 21st, and this is not a bonus show. It's actually just going to be a show, a regular show. Maybe it's a bonus show. Does it feel like a bonus show? I don't know. Let's just do it and see what happens. Let's just get to it and see what comes out. That's how I roll. I hit the button and I go. I just want to quickly thank Linda Irwin from Awesome Insanity Surfers, the podcast. She creates the AI voices that you will hear during the show. I'd like to thank Alex Exum, whose voice you heard at the top of the show, that introduces me, ALEXEXUM. Alex Exum, 2 X's, one in each of his first and last names. That is rare. You don't hear that or see that, if not often at all. And you can check him out at alexexum.com. He has a show on Tuesdays called Live Talk at 10 p.m. Eastern. And when he gets to it, you'll be hearing the Exum Experience. Also, the song you heard, Going for a Drive, Hal in Philly, H-A-L, Hal in Philly, recorded that song. It's he's the writer, he's the singer, and it's a great song. We've been using it to introduce the show because we are going for a drive. You know, this is recorded during my commute to and from work to keep me from going insane. I do a podcast. Hal also has 2 podcasts. One is called Tales of the Road Warriors that you can hear on Stitcher and other podcast platforms. Tales, T-A-L-E-S, of the Road Warriors. He speaks to musicians. And also his new, much shorter, more often produced podcast is It's Easy When You Know How. How you do it? It's easy when you know how. All right, there you go. That's all the thank yous and all that other stuff. But I want to continue to thank you for tuning in. It's been a great 174 or 175 episodes. Everyone a milestone as we creep towards 200. Be here before you know it, and I will be lamenting. I don't know what that word means, but I will be lamenting the fact that I was not prepared for episode 200 and did not do the show I wanted to do. And I often will say something during this show, you know, the half hour, twice a week half-hour podcast that I produce, which is based on pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. I do 2 a week because they play them on Mile High Radio, milehiradio.com, milehiradio.com. Thank you, Lynn and Bobby, to give me the opportunity. They play my show back-to-back. I could do an hour. I could do 45 minutes and 15 minutes. I could do 3 20-minute shows. They give me an hour, and they play it on the internets and for the World Wide Web to hear. So thank you very much. I appreciate that opportunity. And where was I going with all this? I want to thank you guys for checking in. And if you want to check in even more, you can tweet me at Dumb with Dave. Tweet me. Yeah, you know what that is. At the Dumb, D-U-M-B with Dave. Email me at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. And I greatly appreciate all the engagement all the shares, all the retweets, all the comments here in the Spreaker box. But so many of you are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and you don't comment. You don't engage. The show has really been fantastic lately because we've had a serious amount of engagement between myself and the listeners in regards to my company file chapter 11, in regards to how I think my co-workers should be behaving, how they should be working diligently. We're talking about integrity. We're talking about so many things, and I just love it when you guys engage. It really makes the show much better. And usually the bonus shows are me going into the vault, into the comment section and reading the comments and responding. So that's been great. I really think the last couple of shows have been really, I think, fantastic. A lot because of the interaction. It's enhanced the experience. And one day, Dumbing It Down with Dave will go live. Dumbing It Down with Dave will go live. It will be a call-in show. It'll be an hour show. It'll be maybe even with video. I believe so. But it's not going to happen soon. It's going to happen when? I don't know when I transition into life. What does that mean, transition into life? It's my first time here. I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean transitioning? Are you a guy becoming something else? Yes, I'm a guy that's going to become a free guy. Freedom. I will not be working anymore. I will not be working for the man. I will not be working at nights. I will not be driving a truck, a tractor trailer. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it now. Why don't you just quit now? Yeah, I should. I really should just be courageous and go, I'm done. 2 weeks notice, I'm retired. Transitioning into life. And I'm just going to figure out a way. I can Uber, I can Lyft. I really can't because I don't have a vehicle that they would approve. I could drive a school bus. That makes no money. There's no money in that. So I have to stay for now. I really don't have to stay. And we could have a whole show about that. And I'd love to. And I'd love to find some experts in life, philosophy, that we could discuss whether I should stay or should I go. Should I stay or should I go? Yeah. Because what's the worst case scenario if I leave? What's the best case scenario if I stay? And vice versa. A lot of questions. So we won't discuss that now. I really could. It could be just a whole bunch of blah, blah, blah about me staying or me going. But I did want to get to the show that I wanted to do. And we'll probably get back to that other show, to the other topic of should I stay or should I go. And today I was on the treadmill at Planet Fitness because I'm trying to get fit. And if you want to know more about me trying to get fit and failing at it pretty much every day, you can check out my YouTube channel, Dave's Fit Life. You thought we were done with the promoting, right? And the thanking and all that stuff. No. Dave's Fit Life. You can check me out on YouTube, Dave's Fit Life. I was on the treadmill at Planet Fitness, and this is why I'm doing a show now. Because it's interesting. You got to pay attention, because I'm going to do a lot of this and that, and yin and yang, and left and right, and north and south, and up and down. I'm on the treadmill, and ironically, there's not ironically, but in front of me are like 13 screens or whatever, 20 screens, 20 TV monitors, all up on the wall of Planet Fitness. If you've never been there, that's what it looks like. You're on the treadmill, and you're facing all these TVs. God forbid anybody should work out and not, be watching TV. And they do make treadmills with TVs in them, but I guess they stopped making it, or these guys aren't paying for it, or whatever. But there's all these TVs on the wall. And ironically, to the left of me, where I was today, was the Fox channel. Fox. They just call it Fox. And to the right of me was CNN. Right? Is that irony? That's irony, right? Fox to the left, CNN to the right. And of course, they're both talking about the impeachment process today. And it's so interesting to watch the headlines, that the scroll on the bottom, and I'm able to plug into my treadmill with my earphones and listen to the volume. Listen to the volume? Yes. Listen to the words that are being said by the people who are on the TV discussing the impeachment. And I guess what it comes down to, and I am not a political expert, folks, in most of my shows, 99% of my shows, I shy away from politics. Not because I'm afraid of it. I'm not. I'm not afraid of alienating my audience. I'm not afraid of speaking my mind. What I am afraid of is I'm not even afraid of it. I'm respectful of the fact that I don't know what I'm talking about. At the same time, because I'm not collegiate, I have a comprehension issue. I don't understand the government. I don't understand a lot of the things they talk about. And the cast of characters always seems to get larger and larger and more confusing as to whose relationship is with who and when they entered the scene. And it becomes like worse than Clue, the board game, which, by the way, I'm very good at. And if you would like to play Clue, I'd play Clue with you. That, I think, is about as much as I can handle. Clue. Never saw the movie. Never saw Murder on the Orient Express, as far as I can remember. I'm not much for murder mystery, but that's not, let's move on. So, I'm watching, so I stay away from politics. But in this particular case, I'm going to try to talk to what I know. I'm going to talk to my power, to my truth, to my pragmatism. I'm watching Fox. And for them, today was a big win. Today, November 21st. It's over. As far as they're concerned, it's over. But the quid pro quo that we're discussing, apparently, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, and if I am, I'm sure you'll let me know, that he was withholding, President Trump was withholding aid from the Ukraine. Is that Ukrainia? Is it just Ukraine? I really couldn't even tell you, where that country is, or what they are, and who. I don't know anything about this place, and the history of the Ukraine. I don't know anything about it. I do know, although I do have a recollection, that most recently, wasn't it Putin? Wasn't it Germany? Or was it Russia? I have no idea. I can never remember the difference between Germany and Russia. I think it's Germany that always wants to take over the world. They're always like starting a war with somebody. I don't know. I'm not a history major. I'm not a political major. But Trump was withholding aid from the Ukraine unless they agreed to investigate Joe Biden and the hiring of his son to a corrupt gas company's board where he was making $50,000 a month. Wow. $50,000 a month for an American like Joe Biden's son, Hunter, to be on a board of a gas company, natural gas, fuel gas, I don't know what kind of gas. But apparently this company has already been known, I think, as being corrupt. And somehow Hunter Biden is on the board. Hunter Biden, who was in the United States military and was thrown out on some suspicion of drug use, I'm assuming based on a urinalysis. That's what I'm assuming. I'm not a historian. I don't have a great memory for a lot of things. I don't even care, really. I just know that I saw that there's a fact that he was in the military, and I think he was also in the military as an older person, and there was favors that were pulled so he can get into the military, which I got to tell you, I don't know if that bothers me so much, because most of the time, rich people use their connections to stay out of the military. This guy wanted in. Well, good for him. So that is apparently the quid pro quo. I did actually have the definition of quid pro quo in my phone some while ago that I was going to read to you. I don't have it available to me right now. I should have thought of that. But quid pro quo. I am not going to give you the aid you want, the military aid, which I don't know why we're doing that anyway. We have starving people in this country, the United States of America. We have uneducated people that need education. We have people that need help with their drug dependencies, whether it's opioids or whatever. We have a lot of people that need a lot of assistance. Yet, somehow, we need to help the Ukraine. Okay, listen, Dave. Listen, everybody. I am not knowledgeable when it comes to world affairs. There must be a good reason. And I'm not 100% against us supporting other countries. Not at all. But, after 56 years, you kind of get like a little tired of hearing about it. Like, really? Like, who are we helping now? And who helps us? Do we get aid? Or we don't need aid? Like, how do we have all this aid? That's my tax dollars. There's no way that's not my tax dollars, right? And I don't get a say in where my money goes? I guess not, right? I guess when I voted. Okay, I don't know how that works. So that's the quid pro quo. And they need to investigate. He wants President Trump supposedly wants the Ukrainian government to investigate the Bidens. And I got to tell you, if that is exactly what that is, if this is what this is all about, this is my opinion. And I'm not saying it's a qualified opinion. It's the opinion I have. I'm the one with the microphone in the hand. It's my podcast, Dumbing It Down with Dave. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to say it's stupid. You don't have to say how smart it is. I'm just saying this is it. This is it. Let's not get into judgment. I think it's great. I think it's great that's the quid pro quo. I think it's great that Trump does that. I think it's great that any president would do that. Yeah, but Dave, you don't understand. It's legal. It's for his political gain. Yeah, I know. It's called winning. Yes. Yeah, but Dave, how would you feel if Obama did it? I'd be like, great. I'm glad he's doing something. Go out and fight. Go out and make things better. What is the truth? Let's get to the truth. Truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. What's the truth? I don't know. It seems to me the truth is, chances are, Hunter Biden probably should not be on that board. But Dave, what do you know about being on a board? I know nothing about being on a board. What do you know about Hunter Biden? I know nothing about Hunter Biden. What do you know about this gas company that may or may not be corrupt? I don't know anything about it. That's why I'm not saying 100% that everything is right or everything is wrong or whatever. I'm saying it sounds a little suspicious that somehow the son of a vice president, and I don't know if this was during when he was vice president or after vice presidency, he was over, in the last couple of years. Boy, there's so many details in here. It's for the average layman, which I am, and I might be less than the average layman. And I would admit to that. I wouldn't even fight you that I know less. Seems a little suspicious. But it seems like it's status quo. Like, this is the way it always is. You got money, you got family, somebody's going to benefit from it. You got power, you're in on the game. You're in on it. And you could do this quid pro quo. And my guess is that this is not the first quid pro quo the American government has done. And maybe, is it different from regular negotiations? I don't know. But anyway, when you watch Fox, they'll say that the Democrats have lost because they haven't been able to prove that this isn't true. No, they haven't been able to prove that it is true, that there's a quid pro quo. When you watch Fox, they said today that it's over because the Democrats have not been able to produce a witness or any witnesses or accumulated any evidence to suggest that there is a quid pro quo. Understand that? Then when I flip the channel and I go to the screen on my right and at CNN, they will say that they're very much in the game because the Republicans have not proven that there is no quid pro quo. Each side is saying that the other side has not proven whatever it is that they feel about this. All these people are testifying, by the way, in some of the most boring Senate hearings ever. If that's what this is, impeachment hearings. They're boring. Oh my God. So verbose, blah, 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 blah. Who can follow any of this? Some of it's been entertaining. Some of it. I missed that one guy. I forgot his name with the white hair. The one guy I really like. I can't remember his name. I've seen him. I can't remember his name. Anyway, shouldn't have mentioned it because I don't know his name. But there's one guy that seems to be in those seats and ask a lot of really great questions. I hope it comes to me. I'm sure it won't during this episode. But if I remember, I'll put it in I'll try to put it in somewhere. So, a white-haired guy, very skinny, very thin, white-haired guy, and boy, he's amazing. So this is very confusing for the average layman, and when you're less than the average layman, it's even more confusing because everybody is saying these things. I heard this phone call. I wasn't there, but I know a guy that was there. This is this. Listen, all I can tell you is at the end of it all, at the end of me walking for an hour today, and it's not just based on the 1 hour today, it's based on everything I hear on the radio, which is mostly what I hear is conservative radio. They don't really have liberal left-wing radio, Democratic radio. I'm all for the quid pro quo. This guy wants to win. This guy wants to put the United States first. No, Dave, you don't understand. It's for his benefit. Well, I think his benefit is the country's benefit. If he does well, we're going to do well. And if he becomes president, we're going to do better. I don't have a problem with it. I don't. How do you feel? Do you have a problem with it? If there was another way of doing it, I'm sure he would have done it. And I'm sure he is doing it other ways. I happen to think the country is doing fantastic right now. I mean, financially and employment-wise, we're doing better. We're doing great. We've come a long way since 2001. Haven't we? Haven't we? Do you remember 2001? September 12th? September 13th? Do you remember 2008? We are 11 years, almost 12 years since 2008. Remember? It was horrible. Well, not really for me. I was still making money. I'm a truck driver. I haven't stopped making money in 20, 30 years. But now I'm really at my peak. And now I'm at the end. I got to see how I'm doing on time here, folks. I have a feeling I went over. I can't even see. Let me pause this. I got to see the number here. I can't see. It's too small. All right, 21 minutes. That's good. That's really, really fantastic.
Dave, sorry to interrupt.
Hi, Hazel.
This is Hazel.
I know. I hear your voice. I recognize you.
I think you should take a drink break.
You know what? You're right. Let's do that. Let's take a quick 21-minute drink break.
Feeling better now?
Yes, I am, actually. It's nice to know how much time I have left, and it's nice to wet the palate. All right, so let's finish up strong here. I don't have a problem with it, folks. I don't know if you have a problem with it. And I don't know what is all the illegalness that they're discussing. I don't know. But apparently the Ukraine did get what they wanted, from what I understand. There's no complaints, I think, from their end saying, hey, where's our aid? And there must be a great military and political, economic strategy, a reason why the United States would give aid to another country like the Ukraine. I don't know anything about this country. I really don't. And do they have oil, or is it just their location? I'm sure it's a million things. And I'm sure if they weren't important, President Trump wouldn't be dealing with them. All right, that's really all I know. And that's really all I think I know. And that's really how I feel. It's very hard to be on that treadmill, or anywhere for that matter, and listen to the left and listen to the right and go, oh my God. Now, and I'm giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. Everybody gets the dumbing it down with Dave Canyon benefit of the doubt. Because these are all college-educated people. And I do give them the benefit of the doubt that their intentions are good. Even if you're at CNN, your intentions of being a journalist are good. You wanted to be a journalist. You wanted to be an anchor person. You wanted to be whatever it is you want to be, and you're doing it. I believe that you think you're doing good on both sides. But somehow, the interpretation, just like when we talk about the Bible, or a piece of art, or a movie, whatever it is, the interpretation is different. And I don't have an interpretation, really, because I'm watching both sides and going, well, sometimes I watch CNN and go, yeah, that kind of makes sense. What about that? And I really would love if they would get, let's say, Wolf Blitzer from the left and Chris Wallace from the right, from Fox, and have them go toe-to-toe. Let them debate. Wouldn't that be great to have anchors debating? You know, like a Sean Hannity versus whoever. I don't know who's on the other side. I really don't know who's the number one radio guy on the other side. And have a moderator. Maybe a libertarian moderator. Or maybe somebody who doesn't, like me, who's not political at all, but I don't know any. I don't know. I wouldn't know if somebody was being taken. I don't know if somebody was being taken advantage of or something. I don't even know if I could moderate. I'd love to. But wouldn't that be great? Because it seems like the people on the news seem to know more, seem to be smarter, seem to be more clear than the politicians. I really don't know, folks. As an American, as a human, it's really hard to to watch all of this. Not because it's boring, but because it's like, well, what is the truth? Why are we... Is it really just about this one quid pro quo thing? By the way, is that an impeachable offense? I've heard so much that there's no way this is an impeachable offense. And I also hear that as it goes down the line, because there's a majority of Republicans in one of the branches of the government, the House or the floor or whatever, that it's never going to pass. You're never going to get enough votes. So we're wasting time. Which leads me to my last and final thought, I think, in this podcast. Does anybody kind of wonder what all these people were doing yesterday, the day before, last week, last month? All these people that should be at work. I'm not saying they're not working, but congressmen, senators, and all those aides, all those people that sit behind the people, don't they have jobs? And when they're at the impeachment hearing, aren't they not doing their jobs? I realize like there's a committee and it's okay if you're on the committee because you're still doing your job, but doesn't it seem like this is a huge waste of time? And I know if you're a Democrat, you're probably going, no, we have to find the truth and we have to impeach this president. I don't know, we're 3 years into this. I would think if there was any crimes that he committed, we'd know about it. I don't think that... I mean, I know that I heard one of the Democratic candidates last night, Bernie Sanders, somebody said that he's a pathological liar and he's a known convict or whatever it is. Some horrible things were said about the president during the Democratic debate yesterday. I can't believe any of them are true, really. Because how could he still be president 3 years in? Makes no sense to me. Yeah, but Dave, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to impeach him because he's so corrupt. Yeah, but on what though? What has he done? But Dave, you're a layman. You're less than a layman. You don't know nothing. It's all out there in the news. All you have to do is watch the news. And you'll see, I go, yeah, I did watch the news. Every time I'm on the treadmill, I watch the news. And I still don't know what he's done. Quid pro quo? Good. I want him to do a daily quid pro quo. Every day. Every day you just say that to somebody. Listen, if you don't do this for me, I'm not doing this for you. That's called winning. You need me more than I need you. So do this for me. If you don't do this for me, you're not going to get what you want. Can't we negotiate? Yeah, that's it. Do this for me or you don't get what you want. Okay. All right, good. America wins again. Every day we win. I want to make a calendar called the Quid Pro Quo of the day. Every day, Quid Pro Quo. I don't know how else. I'm sure I'm not understanding Quid Pro Quo at its fullest. I'm sure I'm not. I'm sure, and by the way, before anybody tears me apart in the Spreaker box, let me just tell you, I already know I don't know what I'm talking about. I am only going on instinct. I'm only going on emotion. I'm going on what I think is right. How do I know? I'm barely a high school graduated truck driver with a CDLA license. The United States government endorsed, by the way. I used to have a hazmat permit. I don't have that anymore. I let it go. But I used to be trusted by the United States government to haul hazardous materials. So what does that say? I have a security clearance, I guess. What do I know? Okay? So before you tear me apart, let me just say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm putting it out there, thinking that there's so many people in this United States that also have no idea what they're talking about. Because it's so confusing. And we're not involved with the politics every day. Every day we're involved in being a truck driver, being a dishwasher, being a chef, being a cook, being a bricklayer, being a carpenter, being a toll collector, being a painter, a carpenter, a contractor, an electrician. This is foreign territory to us. We have no idea what anybody's talking about. It's very hard. And we do the best we can to keep up. But the truth is, no matter how hard we try, we're always on the outskirts. All we can do is say, oh, those damn Republicans. Oh, those damn Democrats. And all I can say is, I remember once upon a time where the country was against both parties. We were suspect of both parties. Doesn't work that way anymore. See you next week. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, good riddance, Godspeed, good rats, and great skills. Take care.